every story appears ordinary till you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
This is CoreTV News this hour with Nifemi Oguntoye. A bomb blast in Potiskum, Yobe State on Tuesday night has allegedly claimed an unknown number of lives, though there has been no official confirmation of the casualty figure from the blast. Many are, however, feared that due to the blast occurring on a very busy part of the city. No group has claimed responsibility yet for the explosion, but many will point accusing fingers at the terrorist group Boko Haram. We shall keep you up to date with details in our subsequent bulletins. The recent spate of bombings in Kano State has further raised questions about the success of the fight against terrorism in Nigeria. Speaking on our flagship program, Core Digest, Lagos-based lawyer Festus Keyamo condemns the act and calls for a proper military solution to solving Boko Haram insurgency in Nigeria.
The clear threat we see here is a threat to our democracy and our unity as a country. And the earlier we deal with this situation, I think the better for all of us. What we are witnessing is a situation where the government has not shown a capacity at all to curtail this situation. The government has not shown a capacity to deal decisively with this situation. We are just hearing some kind of stereotypes from government. Stereotypes. Government keeps telling, if it happens, government comes and condemns what has happened, tells people to be vigilant, they tell people that we are on top of the situation, and that is all you hear from government. This is a clear case of ineptitude by government, purely a military solution, the way it is now, because they are deaf to dialogue. Don't forget that they are deaf to dialogue. They are deaf to any kind of rapprochement.
The Chibok community in Abuja has denied reports that it collected a 100 million naira largesse during its meeting with President Goodluck Jonathan at the presidential villa last week. Chairman of the community, Sambido Abana, described as false allegations that the largesse was shared among the parents and that some were shortchanged by the leadership of the association. The BBC had earlier reported that the whooping amount was given to the Chibok parents, adding that many of the parents complained that they were shortchanged and given amounts ranging from 200 to 300,000 naira. He added that the money shared was handed by presidency officials who gave out envelopes to the parents. Chairman, Kibako Area Development Association Beatrice Pogo also described the allegation as false, noting that the money that was shared to the Chibok parents was handed by Asa Villa officials. The Minister of State for Defense, Musiliu Obanikoro, has assured residents and business operators along the Apapa Express Road that the federal government is committed to making the road motorable. He made this known during a tour of the road in Apapa alongside the Nigerian Navy. Omotayo Alo has details.
The deplorable state of the Lagos-Apapa Express Road has raised a lot of concern in the past few months. Lagos State Governor Babatunde Fashola visited the area on several occasions to ascertain the compliance of the directives given to tanker drivers to desist from parking on the road, while calling on the federal government to wake up to its responsibilities. The Minister of State for Defense took a tour of the road and commended the effort of the Nigerian Navy. He encouraged the Lagos State government to continue in its efforts of making the road motorable.
There is need for the state to have a permanent holding bay for the truck drivers. It is when we have that, then we can have a radio link between the port and the stakeholders, so that whenever the port is ready to have them, then there will be a radio communication, and then they can now proceed to go in there. That we cannot afford not to do as quickly as possible.
Representatives of the Association of Apapa residents and business operators say they had to bear a lot of pain daily due to the bad condition of the road. They commended the Nigerian Navy of its support and called on other government parastatals to follow suit.
If all the agencies are able to come together in one committee and work together, this matter will be not fully resolved, but it will create an environment where traffic can flow and the people who need to go to the ports can get to the ports.
The gridlock in Apapa became a concern to every Nigerian. And Navy are the one to provide security within the waterfronts and its environs, Apapa. And because of the security threat that this gridlock is causing, they cannot sit down and fold their arms not to interfere.
The Flag Officer Commanding Western Naval Command, Sami Alade, says the intervention of the Nigerian Navy to clear the road was not only to free the area of traffic gridlock, but also to reduce the security threat in the area.
What we are doing particularly is to partner with other stakeholders, because we cannot do it alone. And as a matter of fact, my duty is not to clear roads, but because of the security implication of what is happening in Apapa, we had to, take action, to make sure that traffic, flows, in Apapa area.
Residents of Apapa have expressed hope that the frequent visits of top government officials will translate to the construction of the road. Omota Yoalo, CoreTV News, Lagos.
Scientists under the aegis of the Association of Medical Laboratory Scientists of Nigeria in Cross River State are calling on the federal government to urgently put in place effective emergency response mechanism to prevent the outbreak of the Ebola virus in the country. They made their position known at a one-day workshop in Calabar titled Ebola Virus, an Emerging Global Challenge. Chairman of the association, Gloria Akibong, says it has become imperative for the Nigerian public to be properly educated as the threat was of the increase daily. She appealed to the federal government to ensure that mechanisms were put in place to check the virus in the country. A consultant microbiologist at the University of Calabar, Michael Use, added that it was time for Nigeria to take the threat of the virus serious. The governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, in the forthcoming Osun election, Iyiola Omisore, says his government will put in place a structure that will recognize the traditional institution in the state if voted into office. Omisore made the statement when he took his campaign train to Ilesha local government area of Osun State. Franco Malape has details.
Flanked by his supporters, Omisore's first point of call was the palace of Ilisha, Oba Gabriel Adekule, to pay homage. While berating the spirit of neglect for traditional rulers in the state, Omisore says the government of the People's Democratic Party will restore the traditional structure when voted into office.
Because we have successfully put the traditional setting behind us, we are putting the governance, the political structure far ahead of traditional setting. Has not been used against us in the issue of Boko Haram, other these violent tendencies. So the government of PDP coming on board in less than 3 weeks' time, by the grace of God, ensure a pride of place, a rightful place, a successful and a fully integrated traditional setting.
Responding to accusations by the ruling All Progressives Congress in the state that the PDP is an exploitative party, Ben Folashade Grace dismissed the APC statement.
So for we that are supposed to be taking care of the lives and the property of people, we will now turn around to fight the same people. This is the propaganda of the IS order. It's an high-tech propaganda, and it's not going to go anywhere, because on the 9th of August, the people of Osun State will speak, and they will speak with their votes.
Some of the PDP stalwarts present were optimistic of the party's victory in the coming election.
Already, the APC, they are very jittery. They are calling for postponement of election. So, but I can assure you that we rely on the grace of God and on the grace of the people. We win the election all over Osun State.
We don't bring people together at once, every time and say we are having mega rally. So I think we have communicated with the people of Osun State, and I think they are desirous of a change, and that's why I believe that Omisore will be successful come 9th August.
The governorship candidate says the election outcome is as a result of grassroots campaign.
House to house, door to door, neighbor to neighbor. And of course, it's obvious you can see what's happening here. It has been good reception across everywhere. We have blessings everywhere. And it shows that Osun people are ready for a change.
The Osun governorship elections are just days away, and efforts by political parties have intensified and seeking to win voters. Franco Malape, CoreTV News, Alicia.
More sanctions coming in for Russia. Find out what they are shortly after this break.
CoreTV News now provide a platform for live coverage of political rallies and electioneering campaign from anywhere in Nigeria. Political news stories, political editorial reviews, political discussions, personality profile, People's Parliament from the National, State and Local Government Assembly. Contact us now on 0803-471-8550 or 0803-724-9733. 01453-3407.
Our 24-hour news station. You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTV News, our 24-hour news station.
Back. The European Union has prepared to hit Russia where it hurts with tough economic sanctions as Moscow insists the West can do little harm and showed no sign of reversing course in Ukraine. The leaders of the United States, Germany, France, Britain and Italy has put aside their differences and agreed for the international community to impose further costs on Russia. Ambassadors from the EU's 28 member states are holding final talks. They intend to limit Russian access to European financial markets, restrict sales of arms and dual-use goods, and prevent the export of sensitive technology, especially in the energy sector.
The talk of sectoral sanctions or phase 3 sanctions. In other words, measures that would not only target a very hand-picked group of Putin cronies, but measures that would target specific sectors of the Russian economy. But I think the big galvanizing element here was the shooting down of the airliner. The European Union can't afford to be seen to be divided and to be hesitant in putting up some kind of opposition to Russia, and can't let much more time tick by after the evidence piles, seemingly, of course it's not yet established, suggesting a Russian involvement. The ability of the EU to target entire sectors of the Russian economy is very likely to have an effect on the crisis. It'll have a political effect. It'll erode the higher levels of popularity that Putin's been enjoying since the crisis started. After a few months, once the first effects of the sanctions begin to ground in.
And it's a wrap on CoreTV News. This hour, we'll be back with more stories at 1 o'clock. Stay with us.